It's Thursday, November the 14th. It snowed a couple days ago. It's starting to melt today. We got a couple inches. And I haven't been able to get out since Sunday night. I'm a little under the weather. Got a cold, like a head cold, I'm getting a sore throat. So I could have went this morning, but I elected to just sleep in, stay in bed. It was nice and warm. I've been tucked in nice and warm all day. And I finally came out here. Like I said, it's 3:30. And it's in the mid-30s. And it's much warmer than I expected it to be. I'm dressed down because I brought my eye wall. And I want to put it on, but I'm sweating. So I'm going to wait like 20 or 30 minutes to put it on. And I don't know, hope I don't get sicker because I'm sweating. But I didn't bring a jacket because I brought my eye wall and my underlayers. Oh, the buck I took a shot at on October the 7th and hit and tracked for 400 to 500 yards. Trail camera photos have surfaced of that buck probably 1 to 2 weeks ago by another hunter who hunts in the same area that I do. So we had to do a little comparing of shot video footage versus trail camera footage, and we determined that was the same buck. He has this weird hoop-de-doo on his left G3. We're pretty certain it's the same deer. So as of 5 days ago, he was alive. That's the last known picture that I'm aware of. Somebody else in the area probably has seen him or has pictures of him. There's a lot of people that hunt within a few square miles here. And even if I know most of them, I don't always communicate with all of them about it. A lot of people don't want to give that kind of information out, which I totally understand. And I never had a real good identifier for that deer. It's basically just a nice, wide, relatively tall 8-point. Never really looked at the goofy little curve in his horn until I saw a different view of him, a different angle on a trail camera. And I have no trail camera pictures of this deer. I don't think my brother does either. He has pictures through his spotting scope from his house. He's seen him at 80 yards in the flesh while hunting him, but nobody had a good preseason trail camera picture that I'm aware of. And obviously they can travel several miles here, which is through like up to 30 or 40 different people's property here in northwest Ohio. So, and the chances of him getting whacked somewhere else are extremely high. The odds that I would shoot that deer again, I'd say 1%. It's about 4:30, and just stuck an 8-point, maybe a 120. I don't know. I debated on shooting. I don't know what my deal is, but it wasn't a great shot. It didn't look or feel like a great shot. Watched it back, it didn't look that far back. I thought maybe I hit him in the gut, but that didn't look that far back. I don't know. Penetration was not good. I don't know what the deal is there. I've never had a broadhead not penetrate on a deer. I'm shooting fixed blade, 100 grain. Shuttle T-locks, I've had really good luck with them. I'm not crazy about his reaction. He jumped, went 10 yards, stopped, stood there for a minute or two or three, and then kind of walked on. I have no idea how far he walked. I can't see that far. There's leaves in here. It's not a ginormous buck by any means, but maybe a 120. I really debated whether or not to shoot, but I just feel like my season's dragging on. My luck's awful. I should have probably held out for a better one, but I don't know right now. Just his reaction. I wish I wouldn't have shot at all. I don't know. With that reaction, I don't think I even want to get on him tonight.
As I sit in the stand with a knot tied in the pit of my stomach, the woods comes alive around me as large numbers of deer pass through the woods to get to the fields. I decide to give the deer more time, and I head home to watch the footage on a larger screen. It is currently November 15th, about 20 after 11. And I've come back to look at the deer I shot last night. I reviewed the footage. Horrible shot. Made no penetration. After watching it several times, I'm pretty sure I caught either my sleeve with the string or I hit the camera. I don't know, the camera moved. The shot sounded weird. Wasn't your typical twang type of shot. So it lacked a lot of energy. The camera moved right at the impact of the arrow. The impact was in the gut, low. It's just a horrible shot placement. Just gut-wrenching thing to see. I spent a lot of time last night laying in bed thinking about how awful it is for that deer laying out here in the woods. Just freezing to death, bleeding to death. Really gut with how awful that is. I can't keep hunting like this. I gotta make some changes to my practice regimen or something. Something just has turned me inside out. What I put this deer through. And now I'm just hoping I can find him. I'm hoping that the time I gave him was enough to stay on our property. And expire. Well, we got blood. Now we gotta see what happens. He stood here for a long time though, so. Alright, so far so good. We got good blood. Thank goodness for the snow. He's starting to turn in a direction I don't really want him to go. Well, I've been tracking for about 10 minutes, and pretty much exactly what I didn't want to happen has happened. He's left our property, he's gone on the neighbors. Right now I have good snow to track it in, but it's going to be weaning today. It's going to be melting, so it's touch and go with this neighbor. So we'll see what he has to say. I texted him and let him know I shot a buck. It's hitting the gut, and there's good blood going on in his ground. We'll see what he has to say about it. So I asked for permission to continue tracking in the snow. We'll see what happens. I waited for a half an hour for the neighbor to get back to me before I headed home. An hour or so after leaving, he contacted me while he was home on his lunch break. I walked him through the events the last 2 days, and he headed out to check the blood trail for himself. He tracked the blood for several hundred yards in the snow, through his woods, and then into an open field, where the blood simply dried up. He scanned the field for a downed animal, but to no avail, with the trail going cold, and a second failed attempt to harvest an animal. I feel that I have no choice but to hang my bow up for the remainder of the season.